Day 76, Desert Wanderings, Numbers 31, Deuteronomy 30, Psalm 115. Let's begin. Numbers 31. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, First, avenge the sons of Israel from the Midianites, and then you shall be gathered to your people. And immediately Moses said, Arm the men among you for a battle, so that they may be able to fulfill the retribution of the Lord on the Midianites. Let 1,000 men be chosen from each tribe of Israel, who shall be sent to war. And they gave 1,000 from each tribe, that is, 12,000 foot soldiers for battle. And Moses sent them with Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest. Also, he delivered to him the holy vessels, and the trumpets to sound. And when they had fought against the Midianites and had prevailed, they killed all the men. And they put to death by the sword their kings, Evi, and Recham, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, the 5 leaders of the nation, and also Balaam the son of Beor. And they seized their women and little ones, and all their cattle, and all their goods, whatever they were able to have, they despoiled. Both their cities and their villages, as well as their fortresses, they burned. And they carried away prey from everything that they had seized, both of men and of beasts. And they led these to Moses and Eleazar the priest, and to all the multitude of the sons of Israel. But the remainder of the articles they carried to the camp on the plains of Moab, next to the Jordan, opposite Jericho. Then Moses, and Eleazar the priest, and all the leaders of the assembly went out to meet them beyond the camp. And Moses, being angry with the leaders of the army, and the tribunes, and the centurions, who had arrived from the battle, said, Why have you spared the females? Are not these the ones who deceived the sons of Israel at the suggestion of Balaam, and who caused you betray the Lord by the sin of Peor, because of which the people also were struck down? Therefore, put to death all of them, whatever is of the male sex, even among the little ones, and cut the throats of those women who have known men by sexual relations. But the young girls, and all female virgins, reserve for yourselves. And remain beyond the camp for 7 days. Whoever has killed a man, or who has touched one that was killed, shall be purified on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. And all of the spoils, whether it is a garment, or a vessel, or another useful thing, made from the pelts or hair of goats, or from wood, shall be expiated. Likewise Eleazar the priest spoke in this manner to the men of the army who had fought. This is the precept of the law, which the Lord has commanded Moses. Gold, and silver, and brass, and iron, and lead, and tin, and all that may be able to pass through fire, shall be purified by fire. But whatever is not able to sustain fire shall be sanctified with the waters of expiation. And you shall wash your garments on the 7th day, and, after having been purified, you shall enter the camp. And the Lord also said to Moses, Take the sum of those things which were captured, from man even to beast, you and Eleazar the priest, and the leaders of the common people. And you shall divide the prey equally, among those who went out to war and fought, and among the remainder of the multitude. And you shall separate a portion for the Lord from the portion of those who fought and were in the battle, 1 soul out of 500, as much from humans, as from oxen and donkeys and sheep. And you shall give it to Eleazar the priest, because these are the first fruits of the Lord. Likewise, from the half of the portion belonging to the sons of Israel, you shall receive the 50th head of humans, and of oxen, and donkeys, and sheep, and of all living things, and you shall give these to the Levites who stand watch over the care of the tabernacle of the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar did just as the Lord had instructed. Now the prey which the army had seized was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 oxen, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 human lives, of the female sex, who had not known men. And 1/2 of the portion was given to those who had been in the battle, 337,500 sheep. From these, for the portion of the Lord, there were accounted 675 sheep. And from the 36,000 oxen, 72 oxen. From the 30,500 donkeys, 61 donkeys. From the 16,000 human souls, there fell to the portion of the Lord 32 souls. And Moses delivered the number of the firstfruits of the Lord to Eleazar the priest, just as had been commanded of him. from the 1/2 portion belonging to the sons of Israel, which he had separated from the portion of those who had been in the battle. Yet truly, from the 1/2 portion which fell to the remainder of the multitude, that is, from the 337,500 sheep, and from the 36,000 oxen, and from the 30,500 donkeys, and from the 16,000 persons, Moses took the 50th head, and gave it to the Levites who stand watch at the tabernacle of the Lord, just as the Lord had instructed. And when the leaders of the army, and the tribunes, and the centurions had approached Moses, they said, "We, your servants, have taken a census of the number of the fighting men, whom we had under our hand, and indeed not one was lacking. For this reason, we offer as gifts to the Lord whatever gold each one was able to find amid the spoils, and anklets and armbands, rings and bracelets, and little chains, so that you may intercede for us to the Lord." And Moses and Eleazar the priest received all the gold in its various kinds, weighing 16,750 shekels, from the tribunes and the centurions. For whatever each one had taken away in the spoils was his own. And having been accepted, they took it into the tabernacle of the testimony, as a memorial of the sons of Israel before the Lord. Deuteronomy 30. Now when all these things will have fallen over you, the blessing or the curse that I have set forth in your sight, and you will have been led to repentance in your heart among all the nations to which the Lord your God will have dispersed you. And when you will have returned to him, so as to obey his commandments, just as I have instructed you this day, with your sons, with your whole heart, and with your whole soul, then the Lord your God will lead you away from your captivity, and he will take pity on you, and he will gather you again from all the nations to which he had dispersed you before. Even if you will have been scattered as far as the poles of the heavens, the Lord your God will retrieve you from there. And he will take you up and lead you into the land which your fathers had possessed, and you shall obtain it. And in blessing you, he will make you greater in number than your fathers ever were. The Lord your God will circumcise your heart, and the heart of your offspring, so that you may love the Lord your God with your entire heart, and with your entire soul, so that you may be able to live. And he will turn all these curses upon your enemies, and upon those who hate and persecute you. But you shall return, and you shall listen to the voice of the Lord your God. And you shall carry out all the commandments which I am entrusting to you this day. And the Lord your God will cause you to abound in all the works of your hands, in the progeny of your womb, and in the fruit of your cattle, in the fertility of your land, and with an abundance of all things. For the Lord will return, so that he may rejoice over you in all good things, just as he rejoiced in your fathers. But only if you will listen to the voice of the Lord your God, and keep his precepts and ceremonies, which have been written in this law, and only if you return to the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul. This commandment, which I entrust to you today, is not high above you, nor has it been placed far away. Nor is it in heaven, so that you would be able to say, "Which of us can ascend to heaven, so as to carry it back to us, and so that we may hear it and fulfill it indeed?" Nor is it beyond the sea, so that you would excuse yourself by saying, "Which of us is able to cross the sea, and to carry it back to us, so that we may be able to hear and to do what has been instructed?" Instead, the word is near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, so that you may do it. Consider what I have set forth in your sight this day, life and good, or, on the opposite side, death and evil. So that you may love the Lord your God, and walk in his ways, and keep his commandments and ceremonies and judgments, and so that you may live, and he may multiply you and bless you in the land, which you shall enter in order to possess. But if your heart will have been turned aside, so that you are not willing to listen, and having been deceived by error, you adore strange gods and serve them, then I predict to you this day that you will perish, and you will remain for only a short time in the land, for which you shall cross the Jordan, and which you shall enter in order to possess. I call heaven and earth as witnesses this day, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore, choose life, so that both you and your offspring may live, and so that you may love the Lord your God, and obey his voice, and cling to him, for he is your life and the length of your days, and so that you may live in the land, about which the Lord swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that he would give it to them. Psalm 115. Alleluia. I had confidence, because of what I was saying, but then I was greatly humbled. I said in my excess, every man is a liar. What shall I repay to the Lord, for all the things that he has repaid to me? I will take up the cup of salvation, and I will call upon the name of the Lord. I will repay my vows to the Lord, in the sight of all his people. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his holy ones. O Lord, because I am your servant, and the son of your handmaid, you have broken my bonds. I will sacrifice to you the sacrifice of praise, and I will invoke the name of the Lord. I will repay my vows to the Lord in the sight of all his people. In the courts of the house of the Lord, in your midst, O Jerusalem.